Now we're doing the rules for integer multiplication and division. The rules for multiplication and division are different for the signs for the rules for adding and subtracting. When we multiply and divide, if my signs are the same, either they're both positive or both negative, I'm always going to get a positive answer. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. A positive times a positive gives me a positive. If my signs are opposite, and I have one positive and one negative, I'm always going to get a negative answer. So, positive divided by a negative is a negative, and then I just divide. 45 divided by 5 is 9. Negative times a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. 6 times 5 is 30. Since it's positive, I don't need the sign in front. Number 5 on the top of the next page there says negative 5 times negative 7. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. 5 times 7 is 35. Negative 54 divided by 9. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 54 divided by 9 is 6. Number 6 then. A negative divided by a negative. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 27 divided by 9 is 3. 4 times negative 7. Positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 7, 28. So it'll get confusing for those who aren't real familiar with those rules, because when we add and subtract, if my signs are the same, you keep the sign. And if they're opposites, you take the sign of the larger. But when you multiply and divide, if they're the same, it's always positive. If they're opposites, it's negative.